Can you see there, Vildy? Okay, guys, we've got the wild dogs. They've just made this kill literally right now. It's an impala. We've only got 2 of them here. I'm going to be quiet for a minute. This is incredible, everybody. Anyone that might not want to watch this, but this is pretty incredible. Look how quick they are. Look at, they're getting excited. Absolutely incredible. All right, everybody, we've got another vehicle that's going to be coming in, so we're going to lose a little bit of this sounds, but I'm glad we could have that little bit of a quiet moment. And Elsa Dog, you're saying, oh, holy cow, that they eat very quickly. They do. That's one of the adaptations that wild dogs have, is to kill and then eat very, very quickly. They have high metabolisms. 2, they don't want to... here we go, right in front of us. They don't want to be stuck on a kill for too long and have other predators come in and injure them. Everyone, we're having quite the morning. I can't believe it. I'm just going to move forward. Yeah, there's a little bit of injuries. I just saw that you all saw that there. It looks like possible hunting injuries. I'm just going to come forward a bit through here. And then a little bit forward now. Julian, you're saying that they're acting like they haven't eaten in months. That has to do with their high metabolisms. We've got them just in front here. One's running with what's left of the kill. I'm going to come and try and get around as best as I possibly can. Sorry. Remember, wild dogs have ADD. They move around crazy, so just bear with me here as I move us around. I'm so thrilled at the moment. This is my favorite predator. My favorite predator, and my favorite predator has made a kill for us. I'm smiling from ear to ear. Predator-prey interaction can be harsh, but is amazing to witness. And watching the dogs do their thing is very special. Ellie, fantastic. You want to know if elephants react more viscerally to wild dog than any other predator? No, I would say definitely not. I would say that the predator that elephants dislike the most is lions. React to male leopards. I've seen female leopards walk in between their legs, no problem. And I've seen them look at wild dogs and sort of go, and I've seen them chase wild dogs off. But it's definitely lions that they react to the most. I've never seen them react to a cheetah, amazingly enough. Once I've seen them react to a cheetah that was on a kill that was near a water hole. Oh, now they each have a piece of the prize, and now they're each moving off. There's more than 2 dogs here. We've just only seen the 2. I have a feeling that maybe the rest of the pack has made a kill elsewhere. They were all... sorry, everyone. That's why I tend to show you the back of my head while we drive instead of looking at you. And I have a feeling that the others have maybe made a kill elsewhere. And then they'll call each other once they're done eating. There we go. Oh, that was very unpleasant, that branch. There we are. PJ, GZ, very good question. You're asking if the dogs care that we're this close. No. If they cared, they would have been long. I think they're just busy trying to get as much meat into their bellies as possible. They're also moving around a bit, one, because they do that. They have ADD. And then two, because they were fighting over, this impala is not a fully grown impala. It's a little impala, and they were fighting over it. So they also don't want to give up their prize for each other. They do share. Wild dogs do care about what happens to the rest of the pack. But when it's two hungry dogs and a small impala like this, they're also need to get as much nutrition into their body as possible. Sorry, I've got a couple other vehicles that are moving around with us. I'm just letting them place themselves. I'm pretty happy with where we are for now. Oh, exquisite. Very different eaters to, say, a leopard. You can see that one's eating a bit of the skin there. Oh, darn it. Good question. You want to know if they kill the impala first or if they just eat it when it's alive. So wild dogs run something down, manage to stomach to either disembowel it, or this impala they happen to just catch. Remember, their claws are not like cat claws. Their claws do not get stuck into the animal. They've got claws like a dog. So if any of you have a pet dog at home, you know what those claws are like. And so when they disembowel the prey, or like this, they basically just ripped it apart. That prey dies more quickly than, say, with a lion. I've watched a lion with a warthog in particular eating that warthog while it was still alive for about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. The warthog didn't want to die. I've also seen them over an hour trying to, with a buffalo, just eating until it is. So they tend to suffer more with something like a lion. Now, with something like a leopard, I've seen leopards jump on prey and then start eating a little bit, but a lot of times they also tend to kill it and then hoist because they don't want to attract other predator species. So that can be quick, but for me, the quickest is the wild dog. It's not the prettiest to watch. It's probably one of the more gruesome to watch, but it is the most efficient. The animal struggles less, has less stress at the end. And there we go. What is that? 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and that little impala is completely finished. Yeah, that one, you see that there. The other thing that could be happening with could be hunting injuries like we talked about. There could also be some infighting amongst some of the males that's causing those bitings. The reason why I'm saying those wounds at the back end there look more like being attacked from behind and bitten. And that happens sometimes, especially if there's an alpha male takeover. Or sometimes they even push out members of the pack if the pack is getting too big. Christina, good question. You're asking if they can eat the bones. With this little impala, as you can see, I mean, he basically just ate that whole leg and foot. And because the little impala is much more tender and small, then it's definitely possible. With larger impala, not as much. Although they tend to do a better job with it than some of the cats, that's for sure. Yeah, those look like from another wild dog to me. All right, now I believe Hassana is still around and there's a space that's been made available. So Scotty D has gone to him so we can enjoy him a bit more. So let's head on over that side. They are on the move. They're on the move and coming back and forth between little bits of prey. I'm going to do my best to keep up with them, but as we know, wild dogs move extremely quickly. So bear with the back of my head and keep sending through those questions and comments, everybody. Hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or on YouTube chat, and I'm going to follow the wild dogs. So other than watching wild dogs do their predator-prey relationship, following them on a chase like this is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Especially because it's very difficult to surmise where they want to go. Gemma, good question. You're asking how long will that impala last them before they hunt again? Gemma, that was a very little impala. If they get another chance now, they'll kill and do it again. I watched a pack of wild dogs. They were 10 in number at the time. or 12, I think, and they killed 2 full-grown wildebeest and a water buck in an hour. That helps for you guys to figure out what works best. William, you're saying you call wild dogs the piranhas of the bush. William, I don't think you're that far off with that assertion there. All right, let's see if we can... Now they're gonna move. All right. We're actually heading over to where Scott was with Hassana, or where we were with Hassana. I'm not quite sure where he ended up to. Scott may be, but I don't think he's far. Okay, so Hassana has gone north, and Scott has gone there. So he a little bit farther away. Now they're coming out onto the road, which is good for us. I hope Vildi, I hope they run up the road and give us a little bit of break from the boondu bashing. But knowing wild dogs, they probably will not do that. Here we are. That's a really great question. You're asking what goes through my head when we find wild dogs. Listen, listen. They're calling the rest of the pack. Did we hear that? Let's see if they do it again. They put their faces close to the ground and do that woo, woo. Magnifies off the ground, and then their big ears help catch the sound. That's beautiful. Let's see if they do it again. He's listening, listening, listening. They're going to come right past the front of the car. So Adele, wait, are you going to do it again? He's thinking about it. Adele, you were asking what goes through my head when I see wild dogs. Adele, can you think of the most exciting thing that's ever happened in your life, whether in childhood or in adulthood, that you just literally can't contain yourself? I actually have trouble finding words when we see the dogs. They are my favorite, and I just enjoy them so immensely. I just, no words. So we can see that wound a little bit better. It definitely looks like some sort of bite marks, but it also looks a little bit older and like it's healing and maybe opening up again. It's obviously not hindering him in any way. Could we hear that one? Watch, they can hear the other ones. It sounds like they're possibly to our south. Sorry, yeah, they're to our south. I can hear them far in the distance towards possibly the airstrip. Sorry, Shanae's with me in the sighting. She's saying she hears a lion. Shanae's going to go investigate. We're going to stick with these wild dogs here. There's not many female guides in the northern sands, so it's always nice to have Shanae in a sighting with me. Gotta stick together. All right, so she's going to go investigate. We're going to stick with these two. I don't think that they could hear those other dogs. What's behind us? Franklin's flying away behind us, and the dogs are running. It's very possible that that lion that Shanae heard is somewhere here. I just want to, now I don't know who to follow and where to go. There could also be another leopard in the area. Did you see anything, Vildi? Guys, this is too much excitement for one morning. There's another predator here somewhere. All right, guys, I think let's stick with the dogs for now, because to stay with them for too much longer. There's going to be other people that here they're in front that want to see them. Vildi, I'm going to try and sneak us in through here. You're good. So what do I think? We talked about what do I think about with the wild dogs, but also scenarios like this is very interesting. So all of you are at home watching with me. So I've got obviously our running commentary and we go quiet every now and then. But now it's a very different scene as if you were physically with me on the vehicle. It's a little bit different what we get on up to. All right, let's investigate this a little bit more. And while we're doing that, let's head on over to Scott, who's found Hassana again. What chased those Franklin Zephyr, what made them move off. And Vildy and I have actually had a nicer, closer look at them away from the craziness of that kill. It's actually 2 females. So then there's also, we were talking about infighting amongst males. There can also be infighting amongst females with an alpha female takeover as well. So I'm still going to stick with my wounds being inflicted from another wild dog. That could be the possibility with this pack. And they're just listening. They're still waiting to see the rest of the pack. And it seems as if everyone else that was in the area has moved on to something else. So I think we're going to stick with them as long as we can. Michael, you'd like to know if male wild dogs vocalize more frequently than the females. Not that I've ever heard of, read, or seen, Michael. As far as I know, they vocalize as much as the females, and it just depends on who's looking for who and where everybody is. These two are definitely looking for their pack, and sometimes they can lose each other for a couple of days, and sometimes it's just for a few minutes. Liv, you say for such a fierce predator, you think they sound like owls? Yeah, they do a little bit. There are not many owls make that hoo sound, screech, or do burps, but yeah, a typical sort of owl sound that we put into that hoo sound that we put as our nomenclature for an owl sound. They do sound a little bit like that. Sorry, everyone. I'm just concentrating here. The rest of the pack has showed up with our other 2 females, which is absolutely fantastic. They've had a little bit of a greeting. Now, because they are more stationary and because they are all together, we are going to have to share this sighting with some other vehicles. So I think we're going to enjoy it as best as we can. They're in a little bit of a thicket, which makes it a little bit difficult to see them. I've counted about 8 in total. Gem Video, you'd like to know if it's possible for wild dogs to join another pack. Gem, I have seen it happen. It depends how big. I'm going to try and get in here a little bit. It depends on how big the pack is, if the pack is too large for the area that they're in, if there was dogs that were ousted. There's a whole litany of scenarios that deal with that, but I have seen it happen. One of the packs that we view, called the Mbali Investec Breakaways, has a male with a collar, and he's actually from a pack of wild dogs from Ngala. So he left that pack or was forced out, either one. And sorry, Vildia, and joined that pack. I'm going to do the best I can here and try and get a view. Vildia, let me know when you're happy. There we go. Here we go. Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're missing 2. But there we are. African painted wolves, African wild dogs. You can see all the differences in the coat pattern there, each unique to the individuals. And a lot more sedentary than we had earlier. Anna Marie, good question. You'd like to know how often do female wild dogs get pregnant? The alpha has pups once a year, usually around July, August, and raises them to adulthood, and then we'll have another litter the next year. Sometimes she'll skip a year depending on environmental conditions like drought. And if she, for some reason, can't have little ones, every now and then the beta female will be allowed to have pups. All right, everybody, they're going to slowly get up and get moving. And unfortunately, our time is up. We do have to share this sighting because we don't get to see often. We need to give a chance to everybody else. And we've had an amazing view. We had that kill. We had a little bit of vocalization. We had the hunt or the chasing that we had. And now we've seen the rest of the pack. So I hope you were all as excited as I was and enjoyed it as much as I did. And while we're busy letting everyone else get a view, let's head on up to Jamie, who has left her lions and is busy on a bit of a mission. Let's see what she's heading to up there.